Namaskar friends, welcome to Electronics Technology channel. Topic of electronics technology news is ADAS and autonomous cars present a $500 million opportunity for LWIR cameras. John Lee, technology analyst at IDTechEX. Autonomous emergency braking, AEB, is one of the most important ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems, features a vehicle can have. Studies have shown that pedestrian crash risk is reduced by 25 to 27% and pedestrian injury crash risk by 29 to 30% through the implementation of autonomous emergency braking AEB. As discussed in IDTech's new report, Infrared (IR) Cameras for Automotive 2025 to 2035, Technologies, Opportunities, Forecasts, LWIR, Long-Wave Infrared camera technologies could drive the improvement of AEB systems in darkness and adverse weather conditions. IDTechEX assesses existing regional regulations on AEB and the effect they will have on the adoption of infrared camera technologies in ADAS advanced driver assistance systems. The U.S. passenger vehicle market will be the first to adopt long-wave infrared LWIR cameras due to NHTSA's U.S. regulations. The first and most important regulation to be aware of is NHTSA's ruling for autonomous emergency braking AEB and pedestrian autonomous emergency braking AEB in the U.S. In its report, NHTSA details the progress made in vehicle safety due to AEB, before setting a 2029 deadline for all new vehicles installed to have autonomous emergency braking AEB with more stringent requirements. A key requirement is that all new vehicles pass automatic braking tests against lead vehicles and pedestrians using a minimum level of illumination, low-beam headlights, with ambient lighting of 0.2 lux, night, as over 75% of pedestrian injuries occur in non-daylight conditions. NHTSA believes that only 5% of new vehicles by 2029 will require hardware upgrades to meet these demands, as most vehicles will have advanced camera and radar technologies by 2029, such that only software upgrades are required. However, the more pessimistic response from automotive OEMs and Tier 1 suppliers is a suggestion that this is potentially optimistic. While current autonomous emergency braking AEB systems use a combination of camera and radar technologies, both SWIR, shortwave infrared, and long-wave infrared LWIR technologies would provide an additional sensing mode that is unaffected by darkness or fog. IDTechEX predicts that some OEMs will turn to these technologies to meet NHTSA's requirements, while others will upgrade existing camera and radar hardware, or may install additional hardware such as LiDAR. Further details, analysis, and forecasts are discussed in IDTech's new report, Infrared (IR) Cameras for Automotive 2025 to 2035, Technologies, Opportunities, Forecasts. Opportunities and regulations in Europe, China, and other regions. While regulations in other regions haven't been as explicit yet, there are targets regarding autonomous emergency braking AEB and vehicle safety overall, which may have an impact on the uptake of autonomous emergency braking AEB in vehicles. In the EU, all new vehicles were mandated to have AEB systems installed in 2022, and this was extended to existing vehicle models in 2024. On top of this, the EU's Vision Zero initiative aims to achieve zero road fatalities by 2050, with an intermediary goal of having the 19,800 fatalities in 2021 by 2030. This included a US $7.6 million prospect, which investigated camera, radar, and LiDAR technologies for pedestrian detection and AEB. In 2023, the number of road fatalities in the EU was approximately 20,400, only a 1% decrease compared to the number of road fatalities in 2022. This includes countries such as Spain, France, and Italy, where fatalities have barely decreased since 2019, and Belgium, Hungary, Poland, and others, where the number has increased. Combined with Europe-centric projects such as the Helios project and the lack of progress in reducing pedestrian fatalities, IDTechEX expects the technology developments driven by NHTSA's regulation to also be adopted in Europe from 2027, although this will be more gradual due to the lack of concrete regulation. The market penetration of autonomous emergency braking AEB in China lags behind Europe and the US overall. ID Tech X estimates that the market penetration of autonomous emergency braking AEB in the Chinese passenger market is approximately 40% as of 2024. In terms of sheer volume, however, China sold 30.1 m passenger vehicles in 2023, compared to 10.5 m in Europe in the same year. Combined with the projected increase in autonomous emergency braking AEB penetration to exceed 60% by 2030, China presents a market opportunity for LWIR thermal cameras over the next 10 years. As is expected in Europe, the technology developed in anticipation of the US market will result in a rise in long-wave infrared LWIR fused autonomous emergency braking AEB in the Chinese market. Starting from 2027, the three largest passenger vehicle markets, the US, Europe, and China, all have their own new car assessment programs, NCAP. These are evaluations of a passenger vehicle's overall safety using standardized test conditions. In the US, these are operated by NHTSA and are mandatory for every new vehicle, including its new nighttime autonomous emergency braking AEB condition tests, to be carried out in 2029. The Euro New Car Assessment Program's NCAP, in contrast, is voluntary but has its own tests for vehicle and VRU, child/adult pedestrian, cyclist, motorcyclist, encounters. At the start of 2024, China's new CNCAP New Car Assessment Program's regulations replaced the previous version from 2021 and placed greater importance on advanced driver assistance systems ADAS features such as autonomous emergency braking AEB and VRU detection. The CNCAP involves AEB tests with pedestrians and two-wheelers, with speeds ranging from 10 to 80 km per hour. It also covers scenarios where pedestrians are hidden from view or when a vehicle is making left and right turns. ID Tech X is aware of two Chinese OEMs introducing long-wave infrared LWIR night vision into their vehicles. The technology is on the roads from these OEMs, and also OEMs such as General Motors, BMW, and Mercedes, which have historically had optional night vision systems. Hardware and software upgrades would be required to integrate LWIR sensing into autonomous emergency braking AEB for advanced driver assistance systems ADAS, but the fact that the technology is already being used reinforces IDTech's forecast for long-wave infrared LWIR integrated autonomous emergency braking AEB to enter the Chinese market at a similar time and rate to in Europe. Other regions, including Japan and India, have their own new car assessment programs NCAP-style tests for assessing the overall safety of vehicles. Autonomous driving and ID Tech X outlook. Autonomous emergency braking AEB will encourage the adoption of long-wave infrared LWIR cameras in SAE Level 1 to 3 vehicles, with most current on-road vehicles being Level 1 or 2 in the European, US, and Chinese markets. ID Tech X predicts that there will be an even larger demand for long-wave infrared LWIR cameras for autonomous driving when SAE Level 4 vehicles and robot access enter regional markets in the long term. With greater demands on sensing for human-less driving put on thermal sensors, this is where higher definition cameras, as well as upgraded software and stereo vision technologies, would be required of long-wave infrared LWIR cameras. From the early 2030s, ID Tech X expects autonomous driving in SAE Level 4 vehicles and robot access to be the dominant driver to further long-wave infrared LWIR camera adoption in passenger vehicles. Granular forecasts by region and SAE level can be found in IDTech's new report, Infrared IR Cameras for Automotive 2025 to 2035, Technologies, Opportunities, Forecasts. ID Tech X expects the initial uptake of automotive long-wave infrared LWIR cameras to increase the yearly market size by 6.5 times between 2025 and 2030, driven primarily by NHTSA's regulations, as well as updated regional NCAP testing programs and safety initiatives. ID Tech X expects SAE Level 4 vehicles and robot access to enter the market at the start of the 2030s. This will further drive automotive long-wave infrared LWIR camera adoption, increasing the market by 2.5 times from 2030 to 2035. LWIR cameras for autonomous driving will require higher resolutions and possibly more per vehicle, compared to LWIR cameras for AEB. Source: ID Tech X, Infrared IR Cameras for Automotive 2025 to 2035. Technologies, Opportunities, Forecasts. Do you like this video? Please subscribe, share, like, and press bell icon for getting notifications of my electronics technology channel, and for searching my channel please write at the rate electronics technology 50.